Hello everyone and welcome to a Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds Clone Campaign's introduction. In this video I'm going to highlight what to build, when to build it, and why. Everything you need to get your economy up and running and crush your opponents. The map we are going to use for this introduction is Desert. I like to use Desert because it's usually very static in what it provides and doesn't overwhelm you with lots of huntable animals like Savannah or give you an air transport and horrible elevation like Space Mash, which leaves you with absolutely no place to put your command centers and other buildings. So we're going to hop into this by unpausing the game with F3. Going to press H to select the command center. Going to build a prefab shelter to increase our population with those two workers, and this other worker is going to go on carbon while I put the scout on hotkey 1. And we're going to keep pressing 1 to go back and forth to him so we can search for food sources, which we have now found. We have found 2 dewbacks and 3 eops. So we're going to lure the dewbacks to our command center, which is going to save us 100 carbon instead of building a food processor right next to them. So we shoot them twice, and then we run back away from them. And what this does is makes them chase us. Then we use our other workers to kill it. We garrison this worker to keep them safe. The dewback will change target. And there we go. It's right next to the command center, and we can eat it. That way they'll gather enough food, so we can keep our worker production going. But as you can see, we aren't building a worker, but these guys all have about over 10 food. We can just garrison them and they'll deposit the food and we send them back to work and we can afford our next worker. That way we can keep the worker production going, which we need so we can keep expanding and building up our economy. Building workers is the most important aspect of this and mainly any other RTS game. You need to keep rolling. So we're going to need another prefab shelter because we're 9 out of 10. So I'm going to build that here. Try and not build them right next to the command center because we'll need that later for building farms around it. So we'll just build it right there. We're going to keep scouting around, see what other resources we can find. Run out of food again, we'll just garrison those. Try and, I can't really check it, I can't click it to check the food. But we're going to need the other one anyway, so we're going to lure another dewback. There's actually 4 of them now, which is good. I see it's just finished, so need a second shot, there we go. And he will keep chasing that worker. And we get these workers to kill it, and right next to the command center. Bam. And you know what, we'll just get another one, why not? So we don't have to worry about doing that every so often. We'll just do it all in one. And now we have enough carbon, and we have about 5 workers. We're going to send them over there to build a carbon processor, and we're going to lure this dewback as well. When you're luring, if you garrison on here, it doesn't matter what happens, the worker will run to the command center and not get bugged. There are certain times that if you're luring and you click on another resource and change the worker's role, they'll respond very strangely to being attacked by the dewback and just stand there and fight it. But if you garrison, that'll take them out of it and you won't end up losing the worker or something like that. So we're just going to reposition these workers so they're on a more efficient path to the carbon processor. And again, we're going to need another prefab shelter. So there's still another one of these to lure. We're going to lure that one as well. And we'll just keep sending all new workers onto food, because we need a lot of food to tack up. And every now and again we just select the scout and we can shift scout with it, which means I hold shift and I click on these points of the map, I release shift and then right click and it will follow that command and go to all those points. So we lure this guy over here, wait till he's about there and start shooting him so he dies just about now. Yeah, he's almost survived there. Keep building workers. Okay. So despite we've only got like a few workers on carbon, because we're not using it, we have quite a lot of carbon. So I'm going to take a few of these workers, I'm going to send them up here, and we are going to get that food processor now. Because we're going to need it to build farms anyway, and we might as well grab these 3 eops which are each 140 food. So it's like an extra dewback really. But we can't lure those, so we need the food processor. Shoot them, we'll eat those. And we're going to start building farms as well now with our newer workers. Need to remember to build another prefab shelter, don't want to get supply blocked. This is what I like to do, is just queue up a farm so when the worker builds it'll immediately start either building or farming. Put it back on there. These guys are finished, we'll make farms with them. And once they finish one, they'll just finish the others, and they'll all be assigned to a farm. An idle worker. Okay. Get another house. We've probably got about enough food now. So I want to rush our opponent. So what I'm actually going to do is put all new workers onto carbon. This guy I'm going to build troop center here, in a defensive position. So it should work out that we can keep building workers but still get 500 food and tech up. And then have enough food to build troopers and workers at the same time. So if I put these to deposit their food, we should be able to tech up. Start a power core. There we go. I'll put these just back to work. Can use Control Left to jump straight to the food processor. There we go. So as it stands now, we have a troop center, a power core. We have a decent food income. These are going to have to go and start farming soon though, because they're finished with the OPs. And the G-backs are now finished as well. So I'm just going to set them to mine quite closely. But I want to keep building my military tech, because I want to rush my opponent. And I have quite a lot of surplus food just now. So you know what, I'll just send these onto carbon just now. These as well. And we can build the farms when we actually need them. So I'm going to start building troopers now. We're going to need a lot more houses as well, because it's a lot more production. So we're going to need the supply for it. So I'm going to build up a lot of troopers. And what we'll do is we'll upgrade them to troopers from trooper recruits while they're out on the map. So that's actually quicker. They're going to reach their point faster. So I'll get about 6 of these, I think. Build up a couple of farms, slowly but surely. And then I'm going to upgrade these to troopers and upgrade their range while they're moving. So you can see we built about 7 or so of them. Or 8. So we're going to patrol onto our opponent's base and send them off there. And I'm going to upgrade my worker speed as well. As you can see, during the patrol they killed some troopers. Gonna get a new carbon processor here. And we're gonna start rebuilding troopers now that they've been upgraded. And we're gonna set them up here at the top of the hill. So we're now attacking with our troopers. We're using the elevation. You actually get sort of a range bonus at the top of a hill. Keep building troopers. We're gonna need houses, damn it. As you can see, we've just almost subconsciously just been building these in a line, which is actually forming a nice little wall, keeping our carbon safe. So there's only sort of this point of attack. So you don't need to worry too much about an attack from this angle. It'll be slowed down by the wall, which we could even complete and completely wall out our opponent. So you want to keep building workers and just building troopers. And I've got these assigned to 1 now instead of the scout. I just jump back and forth to them. Keep an eye on them. Make sure they're not in an unwinnable fight. We have quite a lot of carbon income, carbon workers, so we're going to start building farms again and maybe look to going to tech level 3. And you can see the economy changes in sort of stages based on what you actually need resource wise. So I'm going to keep building this. We could even put our Nova workers on this side so they're safe. Now that we've got a bunch more troopers, I think we'll just send them out as well, patrol. And then have 2 little armies harassing our opponent. Should really think about upgrading our economy, upgrading our carbon, upgrading our food processor, simply because we have surplus resources, but we're still building what we actually require, which is troopers and workers. So that's sort of the priorities. As time goes on, you build up a surplus. Looks like we won another trade there. So we're just going to put these around and try and maybe camp his production. Now that we've got him off of carbon. He won't be producing a lot of units. go for the power core. Farms are starting to run out and need replaced. Gonna need another couple houses actually. A few idols here, running a bit low on carbon. Just building too many farms at the same time though. You know what, I don't really need any more troopers. Let's just focus on tacking up now. Well, way more than our opponent will ever have. This is more about just finishing them off now. So what we need is Nova for tacking up, and we're going to need 2 extra buildings. So we're going to build that here. We're going to build a mech factory. And we're going to build a war center, which can actually be used to upgrade our troopers as well, upgrade their attack and their armor. All their range upgrades though come from the troop center. You see our resources starting to build up. Could use a bit more Nova. And upgrade that as well, why not? Complete this wall. Let's get a spaceport as well, just to finish off the wall. The only time you need that in a power core is if you're playing a team game to get a holonet, because you're never going to upgrade anything on it. Unless it's a team game. This blooming map. So you can actually use the spaceport to get the extra Nova. Because they're gather rate, there's only a couple of them. It's not that quickly. So I'm going to sell some food. Bam, tech level 3 is started. Because we have such a really good economy, we can get another mech factory as well, and we can support that. We're going to start upgrading the mechs as well, before we start building them. So this is going to give us extra range. Maybe use these workers to build a few more farms as well. So yeah, they're all nicely built around the command center, very safe. There's only really this point of avenue to be attacked by. And the most direct route is blocked. Blocked by our production, so if they sent units, we'd be matching them with the units that we built. We just camp these 2 points. Really put a wrench in the AI's plans. That wall's built. We have a good amount of surplus population now. The one thing here is that the carbon, see, as they mine the trees, they get further away from the carbon processor, and we need to put new ones down just to make it more efficient. Because all that time they spend walking to it, they could just be like mining carbon. So now that we're tech level 3, we're going to start making the powerful strike mechs. I'm going to queue up 2 on each of these. I'm going to keep upgrading. Going to upgrade my workers here, make them more efficient. Just build a few little houses out there as sort of sentries. And then wait for the strike mechs to get there. What we can also do is upgrade our troopers. Let's sell some stuff. It costs a lot of Nova. We'll upgrade them to heavy troopers and give them range as well. And while the AI is building walls, I'll put a stop to that. Well, you can see our opponent's turtling up a bit with turrets and stuff. So I'm going to build a heavy weapons factory. We're going to do a pummel drop, which is a very good way to kill the buildings. Very quickly. Almost certain death if you don't have the infrastructure to defend it by building like mech destroyers, which our opponent does not. So start building pummels one at a time. We'll get an airbase as well. Oh, carbon's so slow. I'm using way too much of it. Keep upgrading my max. Costs the food at Nova. Is there a hole in that wall? There is. Classic. Another hummel. I think about now we can start building the air transport. If they ever deposit the carbon. I'm going to want a new carbon spot over here and eventually start thinking about building extra command centers. I played this very aggressive. If we were playing a more balanced sort of game, we maybe got probably command centers instead of these pummels. I've got about 4, that should be enough. Don't really need 5. 5 is just a brain pleasing thing because you can put 5 in it. Even then you might be better just putting like an A-mobile or something in as well. Just to make sure there's no bombers or such killing your pummels or fighters. So I'm going to drop them there. You know what, I'm going to drop 2 there and drop the other 2 on top of the command center. And about now, see, since we're not building pummels every 5 seconds, we've got quite a bit of carbon. We can start building command centers. What we do lack is ore, but we can just buy that just now. This next command center, I want to secure the ore. And as you build command centers, you want to just sort of branch out and snatch up areas of the map and resources, because you can just garrison the workers and that makes them safe areas. Don't know why the AI is, that's this animal nursery for some reason, possesses the AI never to quit. Maybe because Confederacy can use them to build units, I don't know. It's just lazy coding. But for some reason the animal nursery is hope for them. What have they got? I'm intrigued now. Intrigued on what the AI thinks it can survive with. So we're just building command centers everywhere. These workers will start bringing in the ore. Which I'm probably going to use for a fort really. I'm just going to keep buying ore every time I want to build a command center. And just use H to cycle through all the command centers and just A to build workers, so it's very simple. You just change the gather point and keep them going. Probably don't want about 7 on there. So we're going to want to get a lot of Nova as well, so we can tack up to tech level 4, because we have this huge surplus of food, so why not, you know? Upgrade that, upgrade everything. Should have done that earlier, being lazy. What we're going to do is build more farms as well. Nice and safe around the command centers. Can be very easy to just have a few command centers rally towards like blueprints for farms, you know. Our economy just keeps ramping up and ramping up as the surpluses are built. This is why the hotkeys are very advantageous, because it lets me cycle through all these command centers. And this button I'm always pressing down at the bottom is just the idle worker button. So it just makes it quicker for me to find who's not working and assign them a task. So quite a big economy now. There's probably enough farms. Get a couple more here, so they spread out a little bit. What we want to focus on is just getting up to the next tech level, which we're probably going to need some tech buildings for. So we may as well build a fort, and then a research center, which allows us to upgrade turrets and the tracking of our units. Make it so the projectiles are more likely to hit against moving targets. As you can see, that's not efficient to have about 50 workers on one. So we're just going to send them here. We're going to split them. If I just click Control and then click, it'll take units away from the list. Oops. Delete. So we've got a fort now. We can go to tank level 4. Keep upgrading, etc. So what I'd probably do with rebels at this point is build a lot of troop centers and just spam troopers. Should probably get some more workers for that, just to increase the carbon income. Need a few more houses to get to max supply. I think we're actually going to have a lot of Nova as well. So we'll get some Jedi temples. So we have a very balanced army with troopers and Jedi. In fact, no, I'll use these for research. These are more near the front. You get that holocron. This will make the units build quicker. We'll start upgrading our troopers here. Range in the actual trooper model. If you get tired of just clicking on farms, you can queue them up like that. Upgrade our carbon as well. Carbon of farms. Okay. So we're just going to fire out top the troopers now. Get some Jedi. We'll get Boffin, which will show us where the AI is actually hiding. Oh, it's this power core, isn't it? So there you go. Just a basic sort of introduction of how to get your economy going. Where are they hiding? I do hate this. Is there a scout somewhere? To just stare at the minimap. Oh, I see it. Workers hiding by the wall. So once these troopers get there, that should be it. So as you can see, we've got all the infrastructure, we've got a huge amount of surplus resources. We have about 120 to 150 workers, 130 workers, so about enough. Our economy, most of all, is quite protected as well because our production's here and here. Our economy is behind it. So in the most direct route, we have units there to defend. So I hope you all learned something from this.